We've got the best division in football here. Chiefs at Cardinals, Raiders at Chargers, and Broncos at Seahawks. Stephen A., which team in the division will score the most points in week 1?
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Okay, tell me why.
Justin Herbert, Williams, Keenan Allen.
Okay. All right,
Period.
I guess we got time
Ain't
for
nobody
one
stopping
more.
that offense.
We'll dive in deeper here. Raiders, Chargers. Who are you backing to win this one, Stephen A.?
I don't know. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I'll just go with that
What
right
a
now.
day,
I'll just go with that
everybody.
right
What
now.
a time to be
Shootout.
alive. Goodbye.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about an interesting exchange between Stephen A. Smith and Michael Irvin on Woke Take following the first week of the NFL. Now, I did not watch any NFL football because I was too busy working, but with the NFL starting back up, obviously we're going to have some takes that are going to get into the realm of politics, which allows me to talk about these things on my channel. So, Stephen A. Smith had a take in which he tried to resurrect Colin Kaepernick after Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, got injured in the first game of the season versus the Bucs. And for whatever reason, Stephen A. Smith floated Colin Kaepernick as an option for the Dallas Cowboys following Dak Prescott's injury. And Michael Irvin, whom he was debating with on the show that day, was not having the idea that Colin Kaepernick would ever get back in the NFL. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you support my channel, you can check out my merch, my donkey pox shirts, the disease that's affecting America, or my hashtag no days off / hard work patriotic t-shirts, or my MAGA Hub shirts. There are plenty of cool merch at my website for you guys to check out, gforemanbcp.com. Get 20% off using discount code gforemanbcp. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this clip.
It will never happen, in my opinion. Might want to make that call to Colin Kaepernick. Might want to take that change. Might want to find out. Now, he ain't been around, but he's a playmaker with his legs. Who's available? You got to take that into consideration. You got to take all. Now, I don't think it will ever happen because it's in Texas, in the state of Texas. You understand what I'm saying? Patriotic individuals that they pride themselves on being, since, the whole Kaepernick situation was hijacked, that narrative was hijacked. To them, it's that, and Terry Jones not going to let that get in the way of business. But I would think about it. I would say that. And getting back to reality, because I don't think that's reality.
Before everybody grabs this and try to run with
I'm saying you got to
let's start with this Colin Kaepernick stuff. Okay. Let's just start. Okay. Colin Kaepernick's been out of football.
Yeah.
For what, 5 years now?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Come on, man, let's stop. Let's all of a sudden thinking we can go resurrect Colin Kaepernick and he's going to come and resurrect a football team. I'll take my chances with Cooper Rush. I will take my chances with Cooper Rush. I saw Cooper Rush win a football game last year. That's all I'm saying. Let's not run down that.
It's just that about 5 different people were in my ear this morning bringing up Colin Kaepernick. Right. So I thought I'd bring it up to football people and say, I've been saying for the longest, he's been gone for years now. He's been gone for years now. But people wanted me to bring that up, so I said fine.
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you guys, I've made a lot of videos about Stephen A. Smith in the past. And I feel like he's one of these guys that I have 100% figured out because I know where his head is at. Okay, Stephen A. Smith is a hard worker. Okay, I must admit, they got the guy working almost every major sports league at ESPN, probably overworking him. So sometimes you got to give him a pass for some of his mistakes. Okay, like the mistake he made at the beginning of this video, where he predicted that the Chargers would score the most points in week 1, but took their opponent to beat them right in the game, which made no sense whatsoever. So I'm just saying, sometimes some of these takes from Stephen A. Smith comes from the fact that the guy simply can't absorb all the information and he's been overworked. Okay, so with that being said, this is not one of those things. What this is Stephen A. Smith trying to appease a certain crowd of people that can't be appeased. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Stephen A. Smith admitted in that segment that there is no way that Colin Kaepernick would never get back in the league. He kept saying it, right? But what he tried to do is that he tried to take shots at the people of Texas and try to say, well, Jerry Jones isn't going to sign Colin Kaepernick because of the patriotism right? The patriotic people. He was saying it in a sarcastic way too, of Texas. Okay, they so patriotic. Essentially blaming the people for why Colin Kaepernick is not back in the league, when the reality is that it has nothing to do really with him kneeling anymore. Okay, it has more to do with the fact that he's just not good enough. The Raiders had a tryout for Colin Kaepernick. Josh McDaniels let him come in, do a private workout, and they did not sign him after that. No other team worked out Colin Kaepernick. Warren Sapp came out here after that workout and said, yeah, that workout was trash, right? It was absolutely garbage, which nobody should be surprised by, because he hasn't been in the league for 5 or 6 years, and he obviously has not been working out every single day to get back in the league, because he knows he doesn't actually want to play in the NFL, which is something that Stephen A. Smith knows, because Stephen A. Smith was the main guy that was calling out Kaepernick on his BS after Colin Kaepernick got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity from the NFL to work out for all 32 NFL teams in Atlanta, and Colin Kaepernick decided at the last minute that he wanted to do the workout at a high school football field instead, because, there were some problems with the legal language in the NFL's workout release, right? A standard release, okay? And Stephen A. Smith, rightly so at the time, called out Colin Kaepernick, was like, you don't want to play. Like, this is BS. Like, you are playing people, right? Now, what happened to Stephen A. Smith when he said that is that the woke mob came after Stephen A. Smith and eviscerated Stephen A. Smith for that. And ever since then, Stephen A. Smith has not recovered from being castrated by the woke mob, because the woke mob took his black card. They said, hey, you're not invited to the cookout no more. You ain't black. You a Tom. You a sellout. You this, you that. They said that Max Kellerman, the woke white liberal that was on Woke Take, was blacker than him. They said Max Kellerman is invited to the cookout and not Stephen A. Smith. That hurt Stephen A. Smith at his core. And ever since then, he's been trying to get his black card back. Okay? That's why he's so gun-ho about pushing race hoaxes. Right? That's why he's so gun-ho about the race issue on Woke Take, after coming out and saying that all black people should vote Republican. Y'all remember that? A few years ago, Stephen A. Smith said all black people should vote Republican. Just once. I mean, this guy has even been on Fox News, right? He's been on Fox News. Again, Stephen A. Smith knows what's up. He knows what his real feelings are. But he's bringing this up because he feels like he wants to be a part of the pro-black club. What is happening here, guys, is that Stephen A. Smith has people in his ear. Okay, I actually believe Stephen A. Smith when he said people wanted me to bring this up, because I've heard him say this before. I've heard him allude to the fact that he has people, whether it be athletes, people in the media, entertainers, influencers, or whatever, that want him to go on First Take and to say certain things, to put out certain messages. So he has a group of woke people in his ear, right, that want him to go on air and to bring up Colin Kaepernick. And the reason why is because Stephen A. Smith would do anything to get back in the good graces of the pro-black woke mob, right? That's what he's trying to do. So it doesn't matter if he's bringing up something that makes absolutely no sense. He knows in his mind that it doesn't make sense. He's going to bring it up anyways because he was told to do so by the mob. That's his gesture to say, hey, look, I'm doing it. I'm throwing Colin Kaepernick's name out there. And the reason why I know this is because in the past, Stephen A. Smith has gotten extremely upset with NBA players like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, whom told Stephen A. Smith that, hey, we want more black head coaches in the league, right? They went out there and they fought for diversity, right? They said, we need more diversity. We want more black head coaches. But when it came time for them to get a black head coach for their team, the Brooklyn Nets, they decided that, no, we're going to go with Steve Nash, right? We're going to go with who we believe is the most qualified. Now, Stephen A. Smith got pissed off about that because, one, it was hypocritical in regards to what the players were saying publicly, but it's also hypocritical in the sense that these players were telling him privately that that's what he needs to do. Stephen A. Smith needs to go on First Take and to say these things, to vouch for these black head coaches. So Stephen A. Smith is like, yo, I'm doing my job. I'm coming out here and I'm basically ruining my reputation and my brand. I'm painting myself as a race baiter, as somebody that hates white men and that hates white coaches. simply because you guys told me that, hey, we need to bring more awareness to this issue. And then when it comes time for you guys to do your part as players, you don't want to do it. So Stephen A. Smith has admitted on air that he has people in his ear, the pro-black mafia, right, that is telling him what to say and what narratives to push. And the Kaepernick narrative is one of those narratives. And the reason why Stephen A. Smith is pushing it is because he wants love and acceptance from the mob. And somebody like Michael Irvin, who actually played in the NFL, who's probably just as connected as Stephen A. Smith to the NFL, came out here and rightly shut down Stephen A. Smith's silly suggestion. Because Michael Irvin, I don't think that he's trying to appease the mob here. I think he's just keeping it 100. There's no chance of Colin Kaepernick ever come back to the NFL. Why even bring up his name? You're simply bringing up his name to push an agenda, not because it is actually a realistic thing that will happen. It will never happen. It will never happen. That ship has sailed. Anybody continue to bring up Colin Kaepernick's name is not doing so in good faith. They're doing it to virtue signal. That's what they're doing. And I'm glad that Michael Irvin shut that down. He had the cojones to shut that down immediately. Hopefully the mob doesn't attack him and call him a Tom and a sellout, right? Because he's telling the truth about Kaepernick. But when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, bruh, let this go, bruh. Stop trying to appease the pro-black mob. You can't appease those people. They're never going to love and accept you. And you should have figured that out when they decided to disrespect you by saying that the white liberal co-host, the Marxist, Max Kellerman that you work with, was blacker than you. He's blacker than you. They have whole videos out there explaining why Max Kellerman is blacker than you, Stephen A. Smith. They said, hey, I'm taking your black card. You're not invited to the cookout. And these are the people that you're ruining your reputation over. You're going out here and you're giving silly takes like these, right? Suggesting Colin Kaepernick could actually be a realistic option for the Dallas Cowboys after not playing in the league for 5 or 6 years. You're out here race baiting, attacking white men, right? Head coaches. You're doing all that. You're smearing the people of Texas. You're doing all that to try to appease a mob of people who cannot be appeased. They don't like successful black men who work hard like yourself, Stephen A. They don't like you because you're a positive example. But the problem is, again, is that you're ruining your reputation behind these people who will never love and accept you. They won't. In their eyes, you will always be a sellout simply because you're a successful black man that did it the right way. I'm just saying. I'm being 100% real about this. But Stephen A. Smith, for whatever reason in his head, he doesn't realize that he wants love and acceptance from them. And that is what is driving him to say these ridiculous things on TV. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.